A VPN service provides you a secure encrypted tunnel for online traffic to flow. No one can see through the tunnel and get their hands on your internet data. NordVPN is the best VPN if you're looking for peace of mind when it comes to using public Wi-Fi, access personal and work accounts on the road, or you want to keep your browsing history to yourself. Lord knows I do. Do you work at home and use Windows, Mac OS at work, Linux for special projects? No problem. There's a NordVPN application for each of these, plus apps for iOS, Android, and Android TV. Oh, and also encrypted proxy extensions for Chrome and Firefox. Best of all, with one NordVPN account, you can secure up to 6 devices at the same time. Enjoy a fast and stable connection anywhere. Buffering is the ultimate buzzkill, so streaming or downloading files with a slow internet connection is not an option. No worries, you just need a VPN service that offers a fast connection with no limits on bandwidth. You need NordVPN. Choose from over 5,500 NordVPN servers in 59 countries and enjoy the fastest VPN experience. Having more servers means less load, and the wide variety of locations means there's a higher chance you'll find one nearby. Listen, we're talking super fast servers, 5,200 plus in 59 countries. Unlock Netflix and your favorite entertainment websites. 30-day money-back guarantee protects data while traveling in public. We're talking airports, coffee shops, cybersec suite, which acts as an ad blocker. Lord knows we love that. Faster connection with Nord links, no data logging, 24-hour, 7-day-a-week customer support. We're talking live chat and emails, and up to 6 simultaneous connections. Double data encryption for increased anonymity. So what do you have to do? It's very simple. We have this for you guys. We have a special deal for all of our listeners. Go to nordvpn.com/SurvivorNSFW. Use the coupon SurvivorNSFW at checkout to get a 2-year plan with a huge discount plus 1 additional month for free. That's NordVPN, NordVPN/SurvivorNSFW. Be sure to use that promo code SurvivorNSFW to get a 2-year plan with a huge discount plus 1 additional month for free. NordVPN.com/SurvivorNSFW. The promo code, once again, SurvivorNSFW. Well, welcome to Reality NSFW. I'm Jonny Fairplay, joined, of course, by Lauren, Alex, and is this our favorite? Our favorite challenge. Do you guys call yourself challengers? Because on Survivor we're castaways. What's you guys' gimmick?
We are on this one. We're all stars.
Okay, so just our favorite all stars.
We're like OGs or legends. Like we usually,
okay, but normally
amongst ourselves, we're OGs.
I mean, but normally, would you be like challenge competitors?
Castmates.
Yeah. Castmates. Okay, castmates. Okay, our favorite castmate, who is, of course, an all-star. So our favorite all-star, Jisela. All right, so let me get clarification on this, because last time we had you on, I called you Jisela because so many people on the first 2 episodes called you Jisela. It's Jisela, right?
So yeah, in English, like the accent would be Jisela, Haselllah, Jisela. And then in Spanish, the way we say it in Spanish, because it is a J, it's an H sound, it's Jisela.
Okay, Jisela. All right. So Jisela. When I propose later in this episode, what do you you
wanna say Jisela.
Jisela. Okay. All right. Well, be warned. All right. We had you on at the beginning of the season. You won my heart. We've actually talked off the air, peek behind the curtain, and it's no secret. I mean, I've been boys with Mark and Cyrus and Nehemiah and Big Easy and Derek for years. And my friends on the female side, and I love them. Trishelle, Katie Doyle, Ruthie. You snuck your way. Episode 1, just like, hey, fuck your friends. What's up? I'm Jisela.
Come on. Come join me.
Jump on board, and I'm all in, and I've been all in. If you paid attention, I don't know how many episodes you've caught in the off time. I'm all in on this train. There's a sad moment coming up, but we'll get there. But we've been speaking, off the record. Catch us up on some of the things that's happened throughout the season that's brought us to TJ's final, because you're an amazing social player. I mean, we did a thing on the Patreon deal where Zach and I had to pick. It's just like of the people that we've had from the challenge, if they were to be on Survivor, who would you pick? And Zach picked yes. And I'm just like, wrong.
Like, no, cut it. It's over.
Yeah. So explain. I mean, you had a game going here. I mean, a serious freaking game. And give us a peek behind the curtain of what was going on throughout the season to get us up to this point.
So, like, the game that I played it's not one you see regularly, right? So I did a more like it was obviously very methodical. It was very like, you want to build relationships, but you also want to have that real element to it, right? The thing about Yes's game, and what actually hurt him with me, was, it's like the utopia. Or have you ever seen, like, in the movies where when something's just too good, you wake up from it because it's a dream, because it's not real. And that's what happened. So if you knew me and Yes, you know that, like, on Battle of the Seasons, we were on it together. And the top 3 people had an alliance. First time I knew what this word meant. I was bilingual, so I was like, the fuck is that? Aliens? What?
It still means that on some seasons of Survivor, I assure you.
Yes. So I was like, what is that? So the top 3 people voted Yes and Veronica off, and I was devastated because I was like, that's not the spirit of competition. Why would you do that? And so I had a relationship with Yes going into this game. But when it's too good, or when a dream is too perfect, your body will wake you up. And your body will reject it and say, this shit ain't real. And that's kind of what I tried to stay away from. I wanted to have a very, like, diplomatic relationship wherever I needed it, so that it didn't come off like harsh or angry. But I also wanted to have, like, a say with even other people's votes. I needed to be able to manage those decisions. And I couldn't do it being super sweet, super loving, because the audience will reject it. As you've seen, Kendall is super sweet. She's super loving. And they were like, hell no, bitch, you got to go. And I was like, okay, guys, this is what we're doing. We're going to go ahead and get rid of her. Because, so that was part of my game. My game was, every decision, I have a moral compass. And I need to be able to make decisions based off of what I feel is right in the world and how I need to manage these, like, relationships without like jeopardizing myself and me as a human, because my children are watching, right? No. But I need to be able to make decisions and have some type of, like, substantial evidence to support it. I thought about, like, work, I worked in corporate America. And it was always like, it's not what you think, it's not what you perceive, it's what happened. Anytime there's, like, some type of weird investigation going on, it's like, let's deal with the facts, guys. So that's kind of how I approached the game. I was like, a lot of emotions are going to be involved, and I need to, like, calm them. And we need to talk about facts. Yes's game, I think me and Yes probably had the most strategic game here. Yeah. So he was my biggest competitor, but that's why he lost me at the end, because I peeped his game and I was like, You be sweet to everybody.
Does he know that you're his biggest competitor?
He does.
I mean, did he at the time?
He realized when he realized he didn't have the persuasion with me that he had with all the other females. He realized, like, oh shit, I lost that one. And I mean, even now we still don't follow each other on social media.
Really?
Wow. He won't be serving you coffee anytime soon.
Yeah, no coffee alliance.
No. He's taken that to the chest, and that's, hey, I'm fine with it. Me and him have talked, and we've hugged it out, and I've apologized to him for ever making him feel like I was attacking him. That was never my intentions, you know. So I'm conscious of that, but I'm also not going to beg you to be my friend either. Like, we don't vibe anymore. It's cool. Like,
talk about your first conversation with Darrell.
When we were on the plane.
Yeah.
Oh, the first conversation. Yeah. So it was funny because like I never met Darrell before. Didn't even know his name. We're on the plane together, and he's like talking to me. He's like, so, what are your strengths? And I was like, my words. And he looked at me and he said, I'm not the biggest girl here. I'm not the strongest girl. I'm not the fastest. I said, but let me tell you about these words, baby. I can move mountains. And he didn't believe me. He was just like, what is she talking about? Like, I was just like, I can cut you with my words. My words have power. I can use them in a way. I can finesse things. I can make you understand things that you never thought you would. And it's through conversation and communication. And sure enough, later on, he was like, I see what you did there. He saw it on the first daily when I rallied everybody together, and I had like a little meeting and was like, hey, this is what I need. I need everybody to vote this way because of this, this, and this. And if you watch the first deliberation, I wasn't even there, and they made it seem like Cyrus really like led that. But everybody there and everybody will tell you, I decided who was going in that day. Not just because I had the lifesaver, because I had that conversation. Yeah. So that's always been my strength, is communication. It's words.
Yeah. Let's go back. What was it? The last episode where it comes down to Anissa's vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Walk us through that.
Okay.
So you thought you had Derek, right?
I thought I had Derek. And he did. He was like, okay, and it wasn't, I want people to understand that I wasn't looking for a competitor I could beat. That was never like what I was looking for when I was doing these votes. When you are a like less than adequate competitor, or you have like a lot of intimidation, you look for a weaker player. You look for someone that physically looks like something you could probably take on. I wasn't looking for that because I already knew I could sit on all these girls. Like, I could sit on them. Like, I literally will sit on them, and that's it, game over for y'all. Okay, 198 pounds coming in hot. Okay. So I wasn't worried about that. I wasn't worried about hall brawl. I wasn't worried about no like tug of war. Nah. But I needed. And then look at Easy. Not for nothing. You could sit on them too. So I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for end game. What happens on the mountain? What happens in the final? Who am I going to work best with? At this point, Yes had already detached himself from me, and he was focused on other players, which is very understandable because your game has to change the same way your audience does, you know? You have a new player that's on top, build that relationship. You have another player who's on bottom, keep them close in case you need to pull them, right? So I wanted Yes for the simple fact that he's the only one that fell off the truck. So my math behind it was
easy.
He fell off the truck. Mm-hmm. He should have been DQ'd. He's going to take a small girl with him. It would have been Ruthie or Kendall. Either way, I'm not worried about either of them, you know? But if you put out the story of let's put out, let's not put people in who've been in there before and make it fair. That would push him to do the right thing and go for like maybe a Ruthie, right? That was the whole logic behind it. I had Nehemiah's vote. I had Alton's vote. I had Derek's vote. I had Darrell's vote. I had all the votes. The votes I knew I didn't have for a fact was Jenny, Kendall. Those two were facts that I knew I didn't have. Jenny told me when I first met her that she had given Veronica her word to protect Yes.
Okay.
I was like, listen.
Because it felt like you and Jimmy worked together on a lot of instances, but this was like the one that's just like this is what I'm bringing to the table.
We were actually like on board with like everything, like every gameplay we moved, like we were on the same page. When she burned a vote, I knew when she was burning a vote.
Is Jimmy female, Darrell? Can we? I mean, like I'm watching confessionals, and I feel I feel like it's 1A, 1B.
I feel like Jimmy is more ruthless than Darrell. Honestly,
for sure.
I do.
Every confessional.
Darrell's pretty ruthless. Like I feel like we've had Darrell, we've seen him on the other challenges, but like an unedited Darrell, he's just like, oh, you can say the word fuck. Oh, let's go.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Darrell is actually very emotional, like highly, highly emotional, very caring. Jimmy is very controlled. And I don't know about you guys, but people like that is a little bit more intimidating because you don't know if they're going to snap. You don't know when they're going to snap. You don't know what would make them snap because they don't give you any kind of like signals.
Is she logic based though?
Huh?
Like on Survivor, you like players usually break down into one of two categories. You have your emotional based characters and you have your logic based characters.
Oh, she's a lot like she leans more on the logical side. Like she can be emotional, but her decisions are logical.
I feel like they're logic, but does she have like a vague logic? Is that like the dilemma there or what?
Nope. Calculated to the end. Calculated to the end. She is your like, okay, you remember Monsters Inc?
Yeah.
You remember the guy who like is a chameleon, he changes and he like goes invisible. Yeah. Okay, he goes invisible. That's her, not a chameleon, invisible. You are not even knowing she's listening. You don't know she's playing the game. You don't know she's playing you. You know what I mean? Like she saved Yes's ass on this one. She did that for Veronica. My girl is taking notes. Like now Veronica and Yes owe her one. If you didn't know Veronica and Yes owe her one, and she will come collect. Don't think for a second she won't. If you ever see her on a challenge with Veronica and Yes or one or the other, they have to pay the piper. They're gonna have to own up to her. And she's so chill about it too. She just banks it. She's just like, boop. She's like, I hope save Yes this one time. Boom, done. Veronica's gonna be on the challenge. Girl, you gotta pay that. You gotta pay that. Believe that. And it's okay because she did it, and you know she did it because she's banking for later. She actually does it with Beth. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys remember on the episode where was it the ropes? I think it was the ropes where they were deciding who was going to be the captain. Yep. Beth ends up being the captain. She's like, yeah, remember you said you would do that, da, 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 da. And Beth's like, yeah, you're right. I'll be the captain. Well, what the part you didn't see is Jimmy's cashing in on something that Beth owed her, like a power move. And Beth was like, all right. She's like, I'll pay it back this time. And then Beth says, when TJ asked, like, Jimmy's going to be the captain. And Jimmy's like, that is not what we agreed to. So we were all like, okay. But yeah, no, and there's nothing wrong with it. She's a very honest player. And that I think is what makes her great. Because she's honest. So she doesn't have to do any backhanded shit. She doesn't. But it doesn't mean she's not still playing the game. Make sense?
Yeah. So
Like,
is that? Do you gravitate to the logic-based players more so?
Yeah.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. I like on Survivor. Like one of my best friends is this girl named Sugar. I love her. I mean, like she's an awesome person. I mean, like in real life, I would do anything for her. If we were to ever play the game together, no sirree, Bob. She she is the exact like I'm just like I can't do anything with that.
Yeah, and that's why like I think we really see that come to light. Like I don't want to put words in your mouth, yourself, but like you see that and it makes more sense why you're not mad with Jemmy after the fact. Like you're still talking with her, you're at the bar, you're drinking, you're like, it's all good because we didn't see that conversation. But you see Jemmy, who's a logical player, and then you compare that to Anissa, who, despite whatever she wants to say, she plays off of an emotion, whether it's emotions for others or emotions for herself.
I felt it in my gut. What are you talking about? Like you ain't
that moment.
Hungry. Like, shut up.
Well, you were accurate with calling her out too, because she does do that on not all the seasons, but basically every season she's on.
Every season.
Thank you. And
just as a
bar,
fan,
I didn't have you guys. I couldn't be like, can we please call the team, please? Because the team will zoom it right now and they will give you receipts. Because I know she's done it. I didn't see the show, so I couldn't be like, you did it on this day, you did it to this person, like, but she has done it, right? Like,
yeah.
Ruthie told me she did it to
100%. The fans here can tell you 100%.
Yeah, she's done it. I think like what happens though is in her mind, she can't separate the two things of the game and the life. So she's like, she feels as though she's like, I have to do something for me, but I can't disappoint everyone else. But at the end of the day, I have to do me, and then they're gonna forgive me because it was just this one thing. But but you have to understand the other person's side of you. Like, if you're gonna make that call, make that call.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. Like, you've been playing the game for how many years? And
32.
you haven't been able to get to this point on your own. Okay. You also haven't been able to win a final. And you can't keep playing the same game expecting to get a different result. You keep playing the same game. You know what I mean? Like, and that's my thing is like, you didn't even have to do that with me. She could have literally told me, like, I'm going to vote Nehemiah. And I'm like, all right, cool. She didn't even have to tell me. She could have just kept her mouth shut. She could have just not said not one word. And I would have automatically been like, all right, cool. That number's out. Yeah. That flip voting and that whole like dynamics, like it's just so not necessary. And like I get emotional players. Like Jonny is an emotional player, right? You don't see it, but she is very loving and caring, and she doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So people who don't want to hurt your feelings might vote a different way. Like she's a roulette player. Like you don't know where she's gonna vote because of her emotions. Did she have a good time on this mountain? Did she not? Did she do good on the ropes? Did she feel good or not? Because if she doesn't feel good, she might not vote the way you think she's gonna vote. But with Anissa, like that was the thing. Like I needed you guys. I needed to phone a friend while I was at the bar because I was like, she always stumps me too. You don't even watch the show, but am I wrong? I'm not wrong.
You weren't wrong. You knew right away.
And had she shown you clips of the show?
It would have been great if I had it, because I already know I would have listed it off. And I love the company so much; they're petty enough that they would have started showing it in the background. Like, remember this time? Remember this time? Like, they love that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with me and her, it really just came down to that. Like, you didn't even have to play that game with me. It was tacky.
Yeah, and like you hear, and the other thing that like comes from being that emotional player, like in that conversation that you guys have in this episode today, the one thing I noticed, and it's something that I just key in a lot on, is I talk versus you talk. And she's talking to you after you were just in elimination. You just hurt yourself. Like you're like, I think there's a lot of other things you would rather be doing than having this conversation at this point. If I'm in Anissa's shoes, like I'm giving you space, and then wait till the next day.
Or how's her knee?
Yeah.
Me is the conversation, not
not
hey, let me talk about me and how you feel about me.
yeah, it's like I would have lost that if I was put in there. I was like, no, that's not what you say. That's not
She
what
was
you
almost
say
like,
now.
for me. And then you didn't, nothing happened to validate. You just won. She doesn't care about you getting injured or anything. And she was like, if I would have been in there, I would have done snow angels in the sand. Like, she would have given up if she was picked to go in.
You know, and that's the thing is like, okay, so you made a decision. And again, the type of person I am, you made a decision. You made a conscious, knowing decision. I have a little more leniency for ignorance. If you just didn't know, wow, you didn't know, we didn't have this conversation. We didn't talk before the show, and I didn't ask you specifically, don't make me the friend you backstab. I specifically asked that question before the camera started rolling. And we didn't have that. All right, but we did. So you consciously made the decision, assuming that I was going to forgive this instance and welcome you back into the bosom of my arms. Because you don't know what the final holds. And because you don't know how you might need me in the final. Because we didn't know it was going to be pairs. We didn't know, because that's the thing. That's the roulette of it all. We could get to the final and it could become a situation where it's like girls against guys do this and then we do pairs. Or it could be you and Anissa are going to do this together and I could drop you. I could quit. I could, and it's funny because that's something me and Nehemiah talked about, because everybody focuses on her and my relationship, and nobody realizes the backstab she did to Nehemiah in all of this. She told Nehemiah to his face that she was gonna vote for yes.
Yep.
So you went on camera. The cameras are there, and I think that's what amplified the anger. You tell all these people that you're voting for yes, but then you flip vote, and now Nehemiah's in the arena, and I was perfectly ready to go against her and Nehemiah, and I actually told Nehemiah, I said, you know, the nasty thing is, I probably would have sat down. I'd have been like, come on, Anissa, and sit down. But like, and now you're not going to the final. Because I'm real big on teaching lessons. I don't know why I'm like this, guys. I don't know why I'm like this. But I'm very much about action reaction. Like, let's hold people accountable. And you own it, you earned it. But her telling me like all those excuses and you know, and the whole crying, the alligator tears, like that doesn't go, it just didn't go anywhere with me, because I was like, you made this decision knowing I was going to be upset. And that's why I asked her, you know how I am. You know how I am, right? You know it's advertised. I don't look back. And why are you crying right now?
There we go.
Right.
All right. Let's talk today's episode. Mo money, mo problems. Oh boy. It starts with previously on with TJ just talking. Did they just fucking give up on these?
They usually do that though. By the time it's the final, they're like, okay, you're going to get all the content in the final. So we're just going to do a quick recap of what's going on. So that's when TJ steps in like, let's bring you into editing, TJ, and just go previously on the challenge.
I was like, I mean, you guys have been killing. Well, the last couple weeks have been a little weak, but previously up until that I'm previously on, you guys have been hitting home runs. So yeah, we have just TJ talking. I'm like, all right, but you guys are walking back to the house, and what? Hip hop hooray! Naughty by Nature from 1993. Pete kills it again. Oh my god, this is a banger of a fucking album. So this is not the one with OPP. This is, I got that one too, but this is very hard to find. Pete, home fucking run, hip hop hooray, rules. And we understand that it's been 14 years since Darrell has been in a final. Are you fucking kidding me?
Hey, he's never lost one.
That is correct. Never lost any final that he's made.
He's never lost a final, but it's been 14 fucking years.
Yep. Last one was the original Fresh Meat.
Fresh Meat.
How insane is that?
Well, you have to also realize he didn't do that many seasons after Fresh Meat. I think he did like a couple more. And then he was gone for a long period of time, and then came back on Dirty 30, or Invasion of the Champions.
He was in Invasions, and then did back-to-back.
He was off the show for over 12 seasons. So there was a long gap. So that's part of the reason for that. Oh, it's been 14 years.
He hasn't been on every season like Anissa has.
And now that he's back, because he had that story of, he's been on 8 seasons and he's been to 4 finals and he's won all 4 finals. Everyone tries to eventually get him out before they get to the finals. So if Darrell gets there, he's winning. And to be honest, if he got into the final of any of these seasons that he's been on recently, he most likely would have won.
Yeah.
So, pretty freaking amazing. So, and then Anissa confides in us and you, Jisela. She wasn't sure if she could have even done another show if she had gone in. Why couldn't she have gone in? Sorry, that was a follow-up question.
Listen, so let's talk about it. Let's unpack it. This is a lot. Yeah. So the thing about this is when you have dedicated your entire life, and I'm surprised they didn't throw shade the way I really said it. When you dedicated your whole life to this show and you have nothing to show for it, you know what I mean? And that's what I told her. I was like, I get it. You want this so bad. You want it so bad that you were willing to sacrifice your own personal integrity, your own self for it. Because it's not the vote, it's the lie that bothered me, right? It's the fact that you didn't have to do that. So she went into this. When I tell you the fan pressure is absolutely astronomical. This woman went into this literally every day thinking about her weight and how it was going to be perceived, thinking about the pressure of the fans and what they're going to say about her. Because this is everybody went into this, not us. We knew we would shit, but others, the fans watching it, they're the Challenge All-Stars. This is a spinoff, a bootleg. No, this is the original. It is being rebranded and brought back to you. Just like those Jordans that they keep bringing back out to your ass and you keep spending $275 on. They're the same old shit you used to wear in the 1990s, okay? But they're rebranding and they're showing you that there it is.
Yeah. For the podcast listeners, Jonny Fairplay just showing some of the recent Jordans he's bought.
I mean, yeah.
Case in point. We're rebranding. We're showing you that it is still just as amazing as it was back then, right? So the fans thought that All Stars was going to be kind of like a sublet, not even that great compared to the main challenge, the regular challenge. But what the fans have found is that they love this more than the regular challenge. They're like, this is fun. This is cool. I like this. I'm wearing Jordans again. So, so the pressure from the fans is if she can't beat All-Stars, if she can't make it on All-Stars, she needs to quit the regular challenge. So for her, it's not only re-interviewing for her job, okay, because that's essentially what she's doing, but it's also showing and trying to validate that she has a place amongst the regular competitors because they are mostly real athletes, right?
Yeah.
And that's the pressure she has. So it was one of those things where it's if I go into elimination against you, a woman who has 4 children, birth 3, 298 pounds, or 198 pounds.
That's not even possible.
198 pounds, out, not done a challenge in 15 years, and you beat me, I have no leg to stand on. And that's what it came down to. You know what I mean? She could not afford her next challenge because it would not make sense, would it? Do you think it would? Do you think they'd be like, yeah, let's put you on the regular season? Oh, girl, just beat you on the All-Star Challenge? This was supposed to be a piece of cake for you.
All right, we talked about the air. I'm not one to. I was taught not to ever mention a girl's weight, but you want to go ahead and mention a current weight there?
My current weight is 168. I was 198 on the show.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that's pretty freaking amazing. I think you're hot as fuck at 198. So I mean, like, right now it's just like there's a ring here on my desk. I'm still prepping you for it.
No.
I think you're beautiful. I think you'd be beautiful at 298. I don't know what that looks like. I don't want to know, but I think you'd be beautiful. But 198, you're a superstar. At 168, baby number 4 is on the way. Get ready.
You know,
at least one to practice.
This one. Let's perfect it. Let's perfect it.
We're gonna perfect it. You guys, I got witnesses. All right. So during this exchange, we're hearing Am I the Only One from Cher? How fucking great was Pete on this?
This episode had a lot of really good song choices.
This might have been his best episode yet. So,
oh my God.
Did you ever expect a verbal exchange between you and Anissa to be soundtracked by Cher?
Listen, he hit the emotions so well with the songs. Like every song was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I was feeling.
But how insane is it? I mean, like, you just came back from winning your way in. You've destroyed your knee and you fucking won. Oh, sorry, Melissa Etheridge. My bad. Sorry, Melissa Etheridge.
No, I wasn't sure.
You just came back from destroying your fucking knee. You won your way back into or to remain in the game, and you have Anissa talking about herself as if she's the only one.
Yeah, like me again.
I can't be best friends again. Be my best friend. I might need you in the final. Like, no. Yeah, no, they did a great job. They really did.
I could see it on your face too, how you were so disconnected with that conversation.
Oh yeah.
I would be furious. I'm just like, motherfucker, talk about me. Like, I'm dying. When we had you on the first or on the second episode podcast, you had just had you were about to have reconstructive knee surgery, right?
No, I have to get it this coming Thursday.
There you go. You were.
I had just had my tummy tuck and abdominal reconstruction.
Okay, but you had made the appointment for the procedure for the reconstructive surgery from this challenge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she's like, oh, I mean, if I had gone in there, I just wouldn't be able to do. I'm just like, motherfucker. Like, did you see? Like, she crawled to help. Big easy win. But it's just like, oh, I don't know. Back to me.
Oh yeah, like she's talking.
Right.
If I'm in your shoes, I'm literally just like, I'm laying down the bed. I'm going, you can keep talking. I'm sleeping now. So, like, have fun.
I wouldn't allow talk. I mean, like, you need to go find someone else to talk to. Like, I'm the last person you need to be having this conversation with right now.
And I think it's so funny that she says in the last episode, I'm not going to coddle a grown-ass woman. And now we're in this
coddle
episode,
me.
And it's like, what are we doing right now? Like, you want me to make you feel better? Like, you want me to coddle you? Like, I don't understand.
Hit her up for Halloween. So you got some costumes. You got a pot and a kettle. Which one she want?
Oh my God! Yes.
They're both black.
They're both of them rested.
All right. So So you're trying, but there's still accountability. So God bless you for accountability. All right. We see now people with tunnel vision that grind until you die. They usually beat Yes, and I'm just like, I feel like Yes is describing himself.
I know, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, he's like, oh, people that tunnel vision, they're the most dangerous. I'm like, are you trying to like mind trick someone again? Like, that's you.
He's mind tricking us. He's mind tricking us, the viewer. Is he trying to get us to think that's not who he's describing? These are not the droids.
I respect his game.
Yeah.
I respect his game so much. He's good with words too.
He's not only tricking you in the house, he's tricking us, the viewer.
Production, the viewers, the assistants, the people in Patagonia who don't speak English. He wins everybody. The fish in the sea will move out of his canoe's way because he is that convincing. And he does. Here's the thing. It's not just words. It's physical touch. Oh, it's how he talks to you. It's his hand motions.
It's look. It's
everything is bringing you in and making you feel good. And it's, it's like putting a frog in a pot and turning the heat up slow. You don't even know you're cooking. You don't even know you're cooking. You're sitting there eating up that shit. You're like, God, yes, it's great. and I'm not hating his game. His game was phenomenal. It was. But he has some things he could tweak the next time because he loves me.
I'll tell you what, if you followed him on Instagram, his fucking Insta stories will fucking melt you. He tags
me. Me and him, yeah. He tags me. Like, he doesn't follow me on any social media, and he still tags me in posts. And he talks about me like.
He wants you to still be sucked in.
I mean,
I know he's still sucking you in.
Yeah, he wants you to still be with them.
I'm gonna build this bridge. I mean, as much as I just love you and want you for myself, I know there's gonna be a season 2, and I feel and know that you and Yes will be there. I gotta see these two fucking deities fucking working together here and not against one another.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's funny because like if you ever watch Battle of the Seasons, I fought so fiercely for Yes and Veronica because I was so upset that they took them out early, and to now be in this position where I even thought about it, I was like, damn, I was like, maybe sometimes I'm a little too honest. Like, how do you just tell somebody like right before a final, like, hey, buddy, I want you to go in against me? Like, that takes some balls. But but I think that I think we would have a hard time trusting one another because he can never trust me again. I have shown him that he doesn't have my unwavering alliance. He knows that I will waver. You know what I mean?
I think we need to do like we need to go to. I'll go too. I mean, I want to be here for this. I want to go to a fucking a weekend retreat.
Johnny, this is what you'll do.
Some trust falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want some trust fall action.
Yeah, it'll be the Big Bear, like the Paris Accords. Like it's gonna be the Big Bear Accords. You're gonna go to
back to Big Bear where you guys filmed the season. Anyway, we'll go back to Big Bear.
yeah.
And we'll, no, I'm making the. I got to see this. I mean, you guys. I mean, I guess it's great that you have, it's Lex Luthor versus the Joker. I get it and I love it. But at the same time, just imagine Lex Luthor and the Joker working together and fucking over Superman over here.
Yeah. I mean, better. I would, going in, like if we did, I think the way we would probably build trust is if we ever had to do an elimination together.
This is a better idea from Andrea S. Season 2 just needs to be Jisela and Trishelle by the pool having drinks. That sounds better.
Well, that's what Trishelle thought season 1 was going to be.
Well, I mean, season 2, Electric Boogaloo. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Listen, Trishelle is so amazing, and I love her so much that I've actually talked to her that if we ever did it again, we would run things together. Like, we would join forces. We would be drinking. We would have our snacks at the daily challenges. Like, we would be a little bit more reckless. I think I would be a little more reckless the next time around.
Were you guys not working together the first go round?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. I didn't know her. You yet? We had just met for the first time there.
Okay, yeah.
That was our first time meeting.
And she thought she had a ride. She thought she had a ride or die there that didn't work out.
Same. Right. We were in the same boat.
Who was your ride or die going in?
I would ride or die.
Same situation with Michelle. Yeah.
What now?
Putting yourself in the same situation as Trishelle, who did you think?
I thought my ride or die was Anissa, 100%.
Okay.
And
Makes
then
sense.
midway through the game, I realized that Anissa doesn't know how to play the game.
Oh.
Like, no, real
Shots
talk.
fired.
Like, no. Real talk. Midway through the game, I realized, like, girlfriend, you were doing a whole shit show here. What is happening? Like, these girls were ready to vote her in. They had no problem getting rid of her. She was burning bridges left and right, causing drama she didn't need to cause. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, I tried to do a little damage control there. I was like, let's play this off. Let's deflect. But I realized midway through the game that, like, she plays, that shit might work on the regular challenge because you're dealing with 20-year-olds who don't know any better.
Yeah.
But we're 40-year-olds and we don't give a shit. So
life is life.
Right.
yeah, like that's really what it came down to. Like, nobody cares about their Instagram having any followers. Like, we care about good vibes. You make bad vibes, you are getting out. Like, she was ruffling feathers from the first week.
Yeah. I like it when people are just like, oh my God, I didn't get my Instagram post out at 10 a.m. And I'm just like, yeah, I worked.
I did my 9 to 5.
Yeah, I fucking went to work. There we go. We're even.
Makes no sense. But yeah, I realized that midway through the game.
Yeah.
But I thought she was my ride or die. I did. And
so
I got better chances with Jimmy.
I like it. I like the two of you together.
That's a fantastic pairing. I would be here for it.
Yeah, all day.
I was here for it. We saw it.
Yeah.
I know, but like even more, like
yeah,
running the table all the way to the end.
Yeah, just fucking doing confessionals. You ever watch Big Brother?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so what season of Big Brother was Will and Boogie? Was it?
They were on season 2 and season 7.
7. Yeah.
Okay, so season 2, there's these two guys, Dr. Will and Mike Boogie. They call themselves Chilltown collectively. And then they didn't do confessionals together on that season, right?
No, it was in All Stars. They did they did joint confessionals together.
With the phone and everything.
Yeah. On season 7, they came back for All Stars, which, so you're on All Stars now. You did season 1. So season 2, you can come back, you and Jimmy. And so Dr. Will, Mike Boogie, they would do confessionals together. You've never seen this on fucking reality. And they go, ring, ring, ring. And it's like, hello. It goes, hey, it's Mike Boogie. He goes, hey, it's Dr. Will. He goes, yeah, we're about to fuck these motherfuckers up and send them home.
I love it.
It was
love it.
Gold because you never see that. It made it special. So
I ask all the time. All the time. Me and Jimmy were like, can we do a confessional together? Can we do it? Because we would like banter, like we would be talking game and like giving them like so much. You know what I mean?
Season 2.
But,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah. No, you gotta push hard. Just say, hey, Big Brother All Stars, check it out. You need to fucking do this. Was fucking cool then. It'll be even fucking cooler now. Get 2 girls instead of 2, fucking totally reinvented to gold. Fucking gold, Jerry.
Yeah, I think I feel like with the next seasons, the ones coming forward, like there were so many things that I would have done different. Like that.
They did so much stuff right.
They got so much stuff right. Everything was right.
Yeah.
But like that purge in the first leg, I feel like every checkpoint should have been a purge.
That would have been interesting. Yeah.
Dwindle them down. See how not nice they would be. It's like if you don't get to the next checkpoint, it's a purge. You know what I mean?
Because it really shows who can handle the pressure and everything. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like for season 2 or 3, like I would have even said one of my genius ideas, y'all take it and run with it, is the first challenge, the first person that goes in picks their opponent. Whoever wins is automatically going into the next elimination unless they win the next daily. Mm-hmm. And if they win the next daily, then the new person that goes in gets to pick it. So you're constantly staggering, and you're constantly just sitting in elimination waiting. Like you might do 3 eliminations and send people 3 people home. But like I feel like that kind of takes away the voting. But if I call you to go in elimination against me, the next elimination you might get mad and call me back in.
Yeah. I like that. And well, I think that's perfect for next season because I thought it was so cool how unique this season was, but I want to see something totally different next time.
Yeah, it's almost like a hybrid version of the Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yes. The Gauntlet was kind of like that. Yeah. And you're right. Like that's what I said for next season, like to do something a little different next season, because what I don't want to see, and I don't want to go to 2 or 3 or 5 if they do it, is I don't want to go to a challenge where these people have been like practicing. Oh yeah. And now we're back to the regular challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Change it up to where we have no way of like practicing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the problem. Like this past season of Big Brother was they finally formed a blob where they came in and they're just like, no matter what happens, you can't touch us. We have enough people. We're not fucking going against it. And they just it was the most boring season in the history of Big Brother.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they cleaned house. Like no one had a shot that was not in that majority alliance.
But and you know what? Like I feel like
they won.
Yeah, they did win. But like I feel with something like the challenge, and it's something that I feel like even with it's the show on MTV and what we've seen so far on here, like I have enough faith in the production team and everyone behind the scenes that they would create new methods or create slight changes that would make it still fresh without it just feeling repetitive. Oh, we're going to do the same format. It's the same style. We're going to keep doing that. I don't think that's what they would intend if they keep getting more and more seasons added on.
I don't think so either. I think they have enough, fan like drive to know that like, okay, these people really want this. So I stand behind them. The production company is amazing. They really do put on an amazing show. And Justin Booth, he's a maniac. Like the stuff he comes up with is absolutely ridiculous. But like I think that the next season will be different. It has to be. Yeah. Because we don't want it to become a regular challenge.
You guys were shocked when the lifesaver was taken away and replaced with the double.
Yeah. Yeah, they never done that. It was like whatever there's the season, it's always the same format all the way through. Maybe there'd be like, oh, we're bringing mercenaries in to try to get the job done. But outside of that, it would still be the same format. Yeah. This one was just like, we're just going to keep eating. Yeah.
I seriously thought he was shooting from the hip the whole time. I was like, oh, TJ's just making shit up. Okay, that's cool.
We asked Cyrus and he was like, I don't think. I'm thinking if Anissa doesn't walk out and she actually does that challenge, I think we get a hall brawl, right?
What do you mean?
Like what they ended up choosing for the elimination.
So when Anissa leaves, we that challenge is kept for the next.
Oh, Arissa?
You mean Arissa?
Yeah.
Sorry, Arissa.
Yeah, they weren't gonna.
I know. Thank you, Andrea. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. If that changes, maybe they move up everything else. Like I felt they did have a hall brawl waiting to go because that's like the most like iconic and more classic thing that you've had in the challenge history is there's always a hall brawl, and it's always like at the exact right moment that you want a hall brawl and everything's lining up like, oh, hey, look, it just so happened they put 2 walls up. Go figure.
Yeah. I honestly, so when we go like arriving on the scene, there was a field.
When you fell down the bus?
No, before that. that was a different spot. But there's this like huge field and it has like all the equipment for the stuff they're going to use. Like we saw the black trucks with the ribcage pass. We saw them out there and we're like, what is that? What is that for? So I never actually saw the hall brawl walls, but we saw like the boxes and the wall. And so there was this other one where it was like a pillar and it had like levels, and there was two of them. They were metal, they were metallic, and they were really high, huge, like bigger than the wall that Easy climbed. And we were scared of that one. We didn't know what that was, but that looked scary.
Oh, so that was probably the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, no hall brawl.
I think that might have been the circle one. The one where it's kind of like pole dancing, but they're hanging from the air and they're both holding the circle.
The one Darrell and Danny did. They showed it on the after show. Yeah. Possibly. Yeah. That would have been intense.
I think that's what it was. Because it's heights too. They liked a lot of heights on this one.
Fuck yeah, they did. Fuck some heights, right?
Yeah, there was no heights in this final though so far.
So far.
Hey, real quick. I mean, we're trying to march to this episode, but I gotta. So the one where you're doing the puzzle and you just drop out of fucking nowhere. Was it the scariest fucking shit of all time or what?
Horrible. It was horrible. You know what made it horrible is that they told you were going to drop. They told you didn't know when you were going to drop. They told us that it was going to be staggered. That was going to be one after another, which is why we did our lineup the way we did it. Yeah. But the time between Alton's drop and my drop, I expected it to be a minute at most.
Yeah.
It was like 5 minutes.
Oh
wow. So it was like 5 minutes of torture.
Yeah.
And I'm like, touch it, don't touch it, touch it, don't touch it.
Yeah, because you're waiting in anticipation. I know, because
you if you have your arm over, you break your arm potentially.
They tell you, and they said the box is so small, and they said just keep your arms in.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing a fucking puzzle. Hold on a minute, like, and then when you see people drop and you see their arms doing this shit, and I'm like, oh yeah.
No, I had flashbacks. I mean, like I'm a huge Marvel Avengers fan. Like I had like the end of Infinity War when people turn to the ash. You know, it was the same thing. Like you look over and just like, oh, they're gone.
And you're just like, oh my god, 1 minute they're here, 1 minute they're not. It's so funny though because I'm so good at puzzles. Like even that tanagram, like I had the tanagram earlier. But it kept falling. And I'm like,
oh, you mean tangerine puzzle?
Yeah, the tangerine puzzle.
Tangerine puzzle. I mean, I'm so good with puzzles. Like that one, I was like, how did I get mine wrong? I need to see it. Like, I like puzzles are my thing. I love me some puzzles. When I seen them working puzzles on that final.
You think Kendall should have gotten credit for hers?
I do because it was right.
I mean, but, like if I make a puzzle right here on this table, it doesn't matter where you walk into my room. If it's correct, it's correct.
Well, here's the thing. So the way, because I mathematically had to think it out. How many points? How are we doing the points? So each block was like a point because that's how they were going to do it.
Yeah.
How many of the blocks did you get right in the right spots? So even if, let's just say she had gotten it perfect. Let's say they had given her credit. Let's say she had gotten credit. Her and Easy would have still been tied, right?
Yep.
Then you have to look at the rest of the team members. Easy's team did better than her team.
Okay.
So even if she had gotten 100% right and gotten points for it,
But still, if I do a puzzle right here, I don't care what fucking direction it's facing. If I complete the puzzle, I complete the fucking puzzle.
I still disagree, and I will stand by that.
Yeah, but again, we have to get to the logistics of it because there's so many other people competing. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I believe that one of her puzzles within the puzzle was off.
Okay, well if that's correct, that's fine. But okay, you have 3 kids, right? Okay, you sit this table with 4 fucking chairs, and you're doing a puzzle. Are you saying your puzzle isn't complete by one of the 4 of you, or by 3 of the 4 of you. It's only complete by 1 of you? No.
Well, but he didn't say who got it complete. He said who got it right.
Well, it's right if it's done completely.
Well, I guess like I get it in the sense that if they were like grading it based off the block has to be in this specific section, like it was like how they were saying like this is how it's getting graded is it's like block 1A block is 1 point, but it has to be in 1A in order to work. Like that's I can make sense of it. I may not agree with it. I think like if it's a complete puzzle, it's a complete puzzle. Like in that sense, I'm with Johnny, but I'm like, hey, I ain't the challenge gods. I don't get the dictate.
But she was even questioning it. That's my thing. Like she was even thinking that she should have flipped it around. So if you're questioning it, then it's probably not fully correct.
Yeah. So, but I mean, but if I walk in that, I into this room, I have 3 fucking doors. If I walk into any of those 3 doors, you're telling me that only 1 door is correct to look at a fucking puzzle? No.
Well, it's no different. It's no different than somebody putting a window in your wall and they're putting it upside down. You can still see through the window, but does it still function the same way? No. It's upside down. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not lifting up, pulling down, like, or it might even be on the floor versus being up top. Have you ever seen that? I've seen that happen. It was not cute.
All right, Kelly Ann, pay attention. I'm being a Kindle defender here.
This is the content I was not expecting.
Yeah. So you know what?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, because you know what I was gonna say is what interesting enough. It was at this moment that I realized Kendall is actually super, super sweet, and she just fucked it up. Like I realized that it wasn't like on the second challenge where I was like, oh, but you don't want to hurt yourself? You don't want to play the game? Like, I took that with me, but then here I am on this challenge, and she's like, and I asked her, I was like, Kendall, why would you do that? And she's like, I didn't think it was going to be a problem. And I was like, see, she wasn't listening to the rules.
No.
You know what? She wasn't listening to the rules on the first one. She wasn't listening to the rules on the second one. It's not that she's a bad person. It's that she just wasn't. Like she's so hyper focused on one thing that she misses these little things. And that was an aha moment for me. That was. I was like, I see her differently now.
There you go.
I didn't tell her that, but I did.
All right, we're a 10th of the way through the episode. John A went through 20 hours of labor 7 months ago prior to the challenge. God bless America and John A. Holy moly, she's ready. She's ready for whatever TJ's got, right?
like I mean, when I heard that, I was just like, I've never gone through that. Like I had my scheduled C-section. Yeah. We didn't. My doctor was like, we don't have to do all that, baby girl. We just gonna cut the baby out. We're gonna be fine. I was like, all right, let's do it. I don't know about labor pains, but to hear that 20 hours.
Yeah. No, I got 2 kids. I had 0 pain.
I had Braxton Hicks once, and I was like, this isn't the jive right here. Like,
but you know what? You know what? Endurance isn't just a show that John A first appeared on. She showed it there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did you guys know that John A did like some little kid challenge when she was little?
It's called
Endurance. That's endurance.
Oh, is that what it's called? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she won it.
She did. She was the winner.
There you go.
John A's a beast.
So TJ finally invites us to his challenge. So excited. So
you mean his final?
Yeah, his final. My bad. So we're at TJ's final. The checkpoints are each mini challenges. You can't have the same partner twice. If you don't finish, you're out. And the checkpoint has 5 points for first, 4 points for second, and so on. And it starts with a tangerine puzzle.
Love the date.
And not only that thing by Lauren Hill. God bless America. Lauren Hill is that is one of the few. I have 2,000 vinyl records over there. I do not have the Miseducation of Lauren Hill, and I had a chance to buy it for $8 one time, and I punched myself daily that I didn't fucking spend $8 for the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Oh, I spent fucking $50 for fucking Fuji's remastered, but heaven forbid I spent $8 for Lauryn Hill.
Miss, total miss.
Yeah, total miss. So yeah. So out of the gate, our pairings are Alton and Anissa, Darrell and Jonny, Helisa and Derek, and Jimmy and Yes, and Jimmy canoes on the bayou on the reg, but usually with daiquiris.
It's a leisure activity.
That's a leisure activity. Ruthie and Mark, Big Easy, and Kellyanne. Kellyanne, for paying attention, it's the second time I've said your name in 4 weeks. Mark, as we're told right out of the gate, Mark has the biggest, strongest stroke, according to Yes. I beg to differ. I have a pretty strong stroke.
Yes, your stroke came strong.
I mean,
behave.
Unfortunately. So, I mean,
the motor.
So,
come on, talk about your motor.
You arrived quick. You arrived real quick.
Well,
okay.
no, I'm we'll get to the Bluetooth sponsorship later. I'm good.
I will say, while the teams are getting paired up, obviously we can only tell so much based off what they're showing us, but like you see Yes and Jemmy actively working together to try to make sure they're paired up with each other. And it looks like Yes is about to finish as they suddenly pan to Jisela going, "Oh, I'm done. Like, I can go now." It almost feels like Yes sees that and goes like, "Okay, I'm going to wait a little longer now." Like, Jemmy.
No, he 100%. 100%. That was the plan. He was planning on working with Jemmy and being on the first leg with her. And I mean, kudos to them. Like, they played that game. I didn't even think to do that. Like, it was funny because Alton told me, he was like, I want to canoe with you. That would be beautiful. And I was like, no. No. I was like, we are here to win money. Like, you need to go win this money. You have a better chance than I do. Go win this money. And he finished his puzzle first, which I don't think he even expected it. But he finished it before me, and I was just kind of like struggling to put my situation together.
Had you ever been in a canoe before?
Not a canoe. I kayak. I kayak regularly. This is
that's the same difference.
No. So
I have kayaked and canoed. They're comp. I mean, for someone that's done neither, they're comparable.
No. So things that I learned. One, the kayak, there is no way that you're going to get it wrong. You know which way it faces. The seat is situated so you can only face one way. Yeah. The canoe, our canoe was actually backwards.
Yeah. Oh, so it got pointed out too in the episode.
So we actually canoed
the entire time.
Yeah, it was like 4.5 hours, in case you didn't know. I know they make it seem like it was a 5-minute canoe, but it was not. It was like 4.5 hours. And it was like every time we came around the mountain, it was like even further. Like that's why I said 17 minutes in, we realized very quick we didn't know what we were doing. Our canoe was backwards. We were not doing the J stroke. Okay. In a kayak, it don't matter if you J stroke, you platypus paddle. You can do all of those things and still make moves on a kayak.
Yeah.
With a canoe, holding it, you can tell I'm holding it wrong, right? So here's the canoe, and I'm holding it like I would a kayak, right? Boop. You have to hold the top of the canoe paddle to gear it, right? And then you have to do the J stroke, which I did not do the J stroke, and Derek wasn't even thinking alphabets.
They didn't tell you any of that?
No. God forbid they tell us what we're doing.
I mean, no. That's insane. I mean, yeah, I call bullshit.
The one thing they told us, the one thing they said is, you need to put on a lot of clothes. And they're so cute. These production people love us so much. Like, Cindy was our girl, and she was sitting there like dressing her babies for school. You know, they're dressing her kids for school. She's like, put this clothes on, put this on. You need to put this on. You need to put another layer. You need another layer. We're like, why do we need so many layers? And then she's like, here, take this cough drop, because I had a cough, and she's like putting cough drops in my mouth. Put this cough drop in your little bag. You're gonna need it later. Take this little banana. We're like, that's what they told us. That's it. That's all the preparation we got was hysteria, and it's gonna be cold. And when you watch that final, it is freezing. It is freezing. The sun is shining, but it is cold. An awful cold.
Was it as cold as the first challenge that you guys did when you had to go in the water?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was.
Well, damn, you know what sucks is you really hope you're not like a certain team who decides, oh, let's flip our canoe to some TLC.
Oh, how great was that?
That water, and that was one of the things that stopped me and Derek from jumping out and pushing our canoe was how cold it was.
Yeah.
I was like, it is really, and we were so freaked out because we knew it was going to be cold all day. We were wearing layers. I had on 3 leggings. So I had on like 2 thermals, my Under Armour leggings, my Under Armour shorts, my like compression shorts, and then I had on like 4 jackets.
So when did you figure out that you were in the canoe backwards? Like after the Alton and Anissa flip, and like right towards the end is when you figure it out, or no?
We figured when we were in the water, we were like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like we were like so hard, paddling so hard.
I mean, Derek's an animal.
Huh?
Yeah. Derek's an animal. So even if you have it wrong, you're gonna make forward progress.
We did. But when we reversed the canoe to the shoreline, that's when we were like, why was it so easy to reverse? And we still didn't put the canoe back right. We still got back in the canoe the wrong way. So something you don't see is that we carry this canoe from one checkpoint to another. So we have to carry it through land. And at first, Derek tried to carry it by himself. And I said, no, Derek. I said, you have to let me help. And he finally did. It took some convincing, but he finally did. How was your knee
at that point?
Oh, it was horrible. But I couldn't even feel pain because I was so focused on the job, you know?
They just have it just bandaged up to all fucking get out.
It was like saran wrap, and Ruthie had given me this little like flexi knee brace that she brought. So that was kind of like what I had.
So what was the actual diagnosis of the, was it MCL? What was it?
I fully tore my ACL, I tore my meniscus, and I fractured my tibia.
Yeah.
And most people, when they do any of that, they can barely even walk. So the fact of the matter is you were able to go and run a final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like on pure adrenaline. Like they gave me ibuprofen, and I was just like, let's go.
That's cocaine in 2021.
Well, the ibuprofen in Patagonia, I think, was a little different. I don't know. I feel like there was a little.
The ibuprofen in Big Bears is pretty. No, Argentina, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Right. So getting back to Anissa and Alton's canoe dip. Not only do they get "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls" by TLC, they also get "Slow Motion" by Juvenile.
Yeah,
I mean. For something so horrible, you get 2 songs to commemorate the occasion. Kudos.
You get 2 songs, and then you get this montage of people just grilling them. You have Darrell going, bye, see you later. You have Jemmy just like, this is why you don't take a lead. It's like there's so much pressure. Once you have a lead, you'll lose it. And John A going, I hate saying this, but I'm sort of excited that they're drowning.
Yes.
And she's so morbid. What's funny is we were like, it was huge, right? And we're going this way, and they went completely off course. So they're like everybody's this way and their canoe is like this way, right? But it's also way the hell out there. So me and Derek actually caught up to them and even like passed them at one point. But again, they got back in their canoe and they were like, and they had
pointing the canoe the right way.
Right. Because, you know, that was like, I mean, come on. And when we saw them, production was helping them get back in their canoe because they weren't doing it without production. Like, production had to swoop up and they were like, are y'all dying? No? Okay, get back in the canoe.
There we go. All right. So, Derek does a leapfrog move over you. That's
listen, we were creative. We were like trying everything. If the will to win was any sign on anybody there, it's us. We are literally doing everything you can think of. We're trying different strokes. We're trying different portions of the canoe. I'm like, I'm in the front. He's in the back. Let's walk. Let's go. You know, now he's in the front and I'm in the back. And it just wasn't working. Nothing was working.
That leapfrog move, I use that around 1 a.m. every night. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah? That's what we're doing?
It's my go-to. It's my finisher.
Not my go-to. I can't.
All right. So Darrell and Jonny, first place, says this is not for Jisela. Why is he calling you out, girl?
He was
Darrell,
calling everyone
right?
out.
He was ruthless with that.
It was so funny, too, because I was like, so me and Darrell actually do this thing where every time the episode airs, anytime we see something or we say something that kind of like is funny but like might be offensive, we do a video of that episode, of that part, and then we video ourselves and then we say something funny to each other. So he started it when I said that he almost died on Deep Blue Dive. And he was like, that's how you feel, Jisela? I didn't almost die. And so then I get him back and I'm like, so that's what we're doing? So when this episode came around, I was like, that hurt my soul. That hurt my whole soul when you said that. And he was like, I'm sorry. Because Darrell comes off like that, but he's actually very, very like sensitive. Like he's a very loving, caring person. And he would never want to like make anyone feel bad intentionally. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, bruh, you went hard. Like you didn't even say like it was my leg. You didn't even say like I don't want to be with you with the leg part. You said this is not for you, making it seem like the challenge is not for me. And he was like, no, but what it was is because TJ tells us you have to carry the canoe from one lake to another. So it was that part that he was freaked out about. He's like, she's not gonna be able to walk. I'm like, bro, I walked here.
Yeah.
But they don't show that. They don't show us carrying the canoe.
Yeah. That makes a big difference.
All right. So you and Derek, last to the checkpoint, number 2, you're out. That's it. I mean, like, TJ was so matter of fact. I'm just like, all right, there's got to be a twist. Like, was he mad at y'all? Like, what happened? Like, what did we not?
He's like, losers. I don't know. I don't know why. It was so weird because it's like, why would you just get rid of 2? That's why I was like, it doesn't make sense. Why not purge maybe 3 checkpoints? Okay, maybe you don't purge all 5 because there's 12. You know what I mean? Why not purge 3 checkpoints? You know?
Right.
Now, it doesn't mean that you might not see it in next week's episode. It might be, you know, because TJ likes to play these games. So, you know, don't knock it out like it's not going to happen. But in the first go, I thought it was really weird that they would only purge 2 people. Like,
and he was so matter of fact, and and this season he's been so happy-go-lucky.
I think it's because the final is his baby. He's like, okay, it's game time. We have a schedule to keep. He's like, okay, thanks for playing, but we know we'll see you again. It's like, I gotta go handle my business here.
But was he friendlier after what we saw, or was he just like
TJ's never friendly in my presence? Like, Like I don't know if I don't think I'm his favorite at all. But like I
But
know I
isn't
have
Derek
a
one of his
little,
favorites?
huh?
Isn't Derek one of
Isn't
his
Derek?
favorites?
Maybe he was mad at me because he thinks it's my fault that me and Derek didn't make it.
I mean, as I
Maybe
said,
he's
like
sad.
this season, he just seems so much happier. I mean, like he's not. It's not like he's like he loves like trivia and people falling in water is his favorite thing in the world. And
Yeah.
I've never seen one guy happier on the planet. I mean, like he's a jovial, friendly guy. And this season, I feel like he's been the friendliest and happiest and laughingest I've ever seen him. And then,
But
the first elimination in his final is like, yeah, you're out. Bye. And I'm like,
well, I think it was also like the race against time. Like everything
yeah.
was
So he has to,
very rushed.
this is set up for the next deal.
How long
Yeah,
how long did you guys finish after everyone else already completed it?
Not long, like maybe 15 minutes. But you got to remember the whole lake took like maybe 4 to 5 hours. Like it was a long time. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is he
we
at the
want- we're
next,
gonna-
is he at the next checkpoint, like doing that and then like racing back to get to you guys and then going back to?
No, he waited at every checkpoint. Like he came through his little boat and like laughed at us. That is something he did, and I'm surprised they didn't show it. Because when he came with his little boat, he was like, "Ha ha!" He blow his little horn, and we're like, "You!" Like, so I think it was a race against time though, because even though the sun doesn't go down till like at night there, it was like they had to get the best lighting and they had to get them to that final checkpoint,
Right.
So before the sun went down.
Okay, bye. So anyway, it hurt my heart. So,
Listen, the feeling was mutual. They didn't show it, but like we were like, the cast was upset. They're like, let us say bye, let us say bye. They wouldn't let them say bye to us.
there you go.
It was very rushed. It was weird.
And with that, you give Alton words of wisdom. You tell him to have fun. Is there anything going on with you and Alton that I should be aware of? I mean, based on Alton. I mean,
Alton's my whole boo. I love him to death. I can't give away anything because we still have 2 more episodes.
Well, I mean, what do you waiting back at camp?
I mean, there's the reunion. There's
okay, all right, fair enough.
You don't know.
So that means we have to bring you on again to talk about everything.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
Yeah, you're really gonna have to twist Johnny's arm for that.
This is called a courtship. I submit my dowry payment next week.
That's right. Court me properly.
Yeah. But yeah, so now we moved on into the second checkpoint. They get the.
Now we move on to a word from our sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Reality NSFW listeners, Father's Day is just around the corner, and you probably need a gift for your hairy dad. Make your dad proud this year and get him and yourself the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the Lawnmower 4.0. And today you can get 20% off and free shipping if you use that code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com.
Now listen, I'm a dad, and you know how I became a dad? By shaving my balls. You're not making kids with hairy balls. No one's going down there. I got the opportunity to make lots more kids and celebrate Father's Day the only way I know how, by making kids. So here we go. Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and just launched their Lawnmower 4.0. Imagine surprising your dad with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized body hair trimmer that says, "Your balls will thank you" on the box. Their 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. You might ask, how is the Lawnmower 4.0 different from other trimmers? Well, this upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on-off switch that can engage a travel lock. This is a great feature if your father or yourself do a lot of traveling. Lord knows I do. It also gives you the ability to turn on the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when you need a more precise shave. That's right. You can now shave your balls in the dark. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 through 4. Now, the new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. Yeah, you heard that right. Wireless charging ball trimmers are a real thing now.
Have you ever seen a nose bush sticking out of your dad's nose? Well, the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer is the best nose hair trimmer on the market and the perfect gift for your pops. They also have other amazing products like cologne, crop mop ball wipes, that one gets me every time. Crop Reviver ball toner. I'm actually going to start that whole sentence again. They also have other amazing products like cologne, crop mop ball wipes, Crop Reviver ball toner, and Crop Preserver ball deodorant. For all the females listening, you'll appreciate this part. Manscaped products are cruelty-free, paraben-free, dye-free, and vegan. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. Get your dad a gift you know they will use. Get Manscaped.
That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use promo code SURVIVOR. Don't forget that you came from your dad's balls this year. Show your original home some love with Manscaped.
Well, we're back, but we're waiting for
We're waiting for the rest of the crew to come back.
But it's okay. So Lauren, we haven't gotten here for you. So we're through the first checkpoint. So who was surprising you so far? You get through that first checkpoint, seeing how they did up to that point.
Well, as we talked about earlier a little bit, I was impressed with Yes and Jemmy's strategy with each other, knowing that they full well wanted to work with each other on that first checkpoint and then getting into the next leg. I think it's a brilliant strategy if you know that there's someone that you can work well with, especially when we saw what it was. That really, I think, did help them as they progressed throughout the final so far.
Yeah, I just think like the story that we're seeing here, at least for the majority of the episode until like the end, is like it's the coming out party of Jonny. Like they weren't showing Jonny that much, but they kept peppering in the episodes like that she's making her way through it. She's playing her game. We don't get to see what her game is. It's just not what they chose to show. But you know that she was doing stuff in the background. Now she's getting to have her chance. She gets to her first final. And now she's at this point. She's in the lead now. Mm-hmm. And now she gets to be partnered up with Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think when we're talking about Jonny here, I think she does a lot. But the reason why she's not shown as much is because there's so many other people that have more fiery and engaging confessionals than herself.
Well, I feel like each episode prior to now has been the setup for their particular stories. I think they've done a good job of storytelling, not foreshadowing the winner as Survivor has done throughout time, and the challenge has been known too. And with this, it's each episode feels like an independent story of like 2 to 3 characters.
Yep.
So and I think that's a much better way to tell the story.
I also think that in the past, and my experience, some of the production members had loose lips and loose lips sink ships. So I believe that Jonny is the kind of player that didn't even tell production what the hell she was doing.
Yeah,
because she wasn't willing to risk it.
Yeah,
there's some people on Survivor that do that. Danny Boatwright
and Michelle Fitzgerald gave production nothing because they knew anything, like they weren't the chosen one. Yeah. And so production is looking out for the chosen one. So anything that they would have given would have been used against them. So they're like, I ain't giving you fucking nothing because I know I ain't the fucking chosen one.
Right. And I think she kind of like, I honestly believe that was more her strategy, like say less and gather more. And when she finally does her final interview, which is after everything is said and done, that's where you're getting all her confessionals. Mm-hmm. But she's like, all her like quick hitters and what she's thinking. I feel like it all came out after because she kept everything close to the chest. And I respect her for it.
Yeah.
Really do.
I mean, like you look at this roster, and on paper, John A is not the most. I mean, like as I said, like they have their sheet. They're just like, all right, we got the Godfather. We got we have the ones that we like and we want. And John A might not.
You have the experience. You do have Anissa. She has done 57 challenges back to back. Like John A has literally been sitting at home with her kids doing mommy stuff, like balancing grocery bags. So it's a little different.
Right.
I mean, when I went into this season, there was a fucking YouTube video. It wasn't by us. The YouTube video is just like, you all know the cast for All Stars. Here's 5 people you probably don't know, and here's what you need to know going into the All Stars. John A was on that list.
Really? I didn't see
it.
Yes was on the list.
Yes was on the list.
Like people to watch.
Like it was like you may be unfamiliar with them, like because they weren't on as many seasons, or like they weren't like if they were the old school, they weren't like if you were thinking back on people, they wouldn't be like, oh, I remember this person. It'd be let's catch you back up, get the rust going off your ears, like you'll remember now.
Yeah, Latarian was Latarian is just like all we know about Latarian is popcorn muscles. That
they weren't popcorn.
Video. That's all I learned was popcorn muscles, and I'm just like, y'all motherfuckers' definition of popcorn and mine are completely different because this motherfucker don't have popcorn muscles.
Maybe back in his day. I mean, but here's the thing though, he has brute strength, even though he doesn't have the chisel effect. When I tell you, when we did Murder Mountain, that's what we call it, the one with the logs.
Mm-hmm.
He carried me on his arm and the tree.
Yeah.
And the tree. 100%. I put all my weight on his arm.
Yeah. No, I mean we did a challenge on Survivor where we had to suspend someone in this water teepee like above, and so we're all lined up, it all comes to the last person. And I'm like the first person, and I didn't try on purpose because I'm just like, I'm not gonna try. I'm just a horrible person. So like I'm not hurting my hands. And so I did. So they're like Johnny,
cancel.
Yeah. So it comes down to this guy Rupert, who's this big burly fucking pirate, and OT, who is this muscle bound guy who's like, you look at him genetically, he's beautiful. I mean, like, he could be, like a bodybuilding champion all day long. And they're just like, oh man, like, this is, and I'm just like, this is a no contest. I'm just like, because Austin OT doesn't have gloves. This guy has never lifted a weight in his entire life without a pretty pair of gloves on his fucking hands to push him up. And Rupert has never worn a pair of gloves ever to do fucking anything. And guess who won? Rupert, the guy that's never fucking worn gloves. And OT with all those muscles in the world doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Different types of strength.
You have to come out like, because Alton didn't do well on Murder Mountain. And we're still trying to figure out what happened so severely, because the shoes played a big part, but like the altitude,
the shoes. Where did he
get smoker?
Where did he get these little shoes?
So we had a sponsor, and our sponsor gave us all one uniform. That was actually the joke of the season, is because they told us, we have a sponsor. You can't bring or wear anything that isn't from our sponsor. Okay. So they're going to give us a bag, right? Yes. They're going to provide you stuff, but try to bring your own stuff just, because you need outfits. All right, cool. A lot of people didn't bring stuff. I did, because I don't trust these people, right? I'm like, I'm going to pack my own bag. But people like Latarian didn't really bring stuff for this. He brought his stuff, and they took anything that had logos out, so he wasn't allowed to wear it. And we all got one uniform. That's it. That's what we got, one uniform.
Yeah.
So every single day they washed our uniforms. It was really kind of weird. By the end of it, our uniforms are all like tattered and messed up because I don't know if they're washing it on rocks, but they were hanging dry. I can tell you that for a fact. It was line dry.
Yeah.
But he the uniform situation, they gave us sneakers. They did tell us bring a pair of black sneakers in case they don't fit. But like size 9 versus 11, come on.
Right.
That's a big difference. He's a size 11.
So did he tell them size 9 or they just fucked up?
No, he told them very clearly size 11. Every single challenge, he was like, hey, I can't wear these sneakers. It's okay. It doesn't matter. You're wearing water boots. We wore water boots the first 4 challenges.
Yeah.
The deep blue dive water boots, the trivia water boots, the ice water boots, and then whatever the 4th one was, water boots.
Yeah.
By the time we did Murder Mountain, that's the next challenge. It was real sneakers, but it was bad. People didn't expect that.
Wow. Okay. So the little sneakers are legit.
It was a legit situation.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So you say closet smoker? Is that what you said?
Closet smoker. Yeah, because I don't like smokers, and I would catch him smoking. I'm like, "Are you smoking a cigarette?" And he was just like, "No, I'm just stressed out right now." I'm like, "Why are you stressed? It's not a stressful day." Like, I need answers. What are you doing?
Oh man, he's messing with your kisses.
Right.
Right.
I'm like,
All
I
right.
don't like that.
All right. He's selling. All right. I promised a possible engagement. And how about this? This is step 1 towards our engagement. All right. So they're filming the new challenge right now, right?
So I hear you.
Yeah.
So it will obviously air before the next All Stars. How
I would
about
imagine.
How about for the premiere of that, I fly you out here. We'll do a Reality NSFW premiere party at the Dirty Bull Brewery in Durham, North Carolina, and you co-host with me.
Absolutely. I would be totally down with that. That would be so fun.
You just made Johnny's night.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
This is step 1. This is step 1 to our life together forever.
Yes, look, step 1. Yes, I would totally do. I didn't like North Carolina. That's close.
Okay.
I don't know why I was like, when you said fly out, I'm like, wait a minute, where am I flying to? Hold on, because I get anxiety.
Yeah, North Carolina. It's Raleigh Airport. Super easy.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm down.
I'm
totally
I was
down.
gonna just propose, but I didn't. My heart couldn't take.
Let's do a meet and greet.
Yeah.
See how we feel.
That's step 1 to most marriages.
Right. We could do 90 Day Fiance.
Do you watch 90 Day Fiance?
I've only seen the clips of the guy. You know the guy with the head and the shoulders.
Oh yeah. No, so I do wrestling stuff. I was with Paola she was on the first season. She's been on a few other seasons. So I was there for her wrestling debut in Miami a couple weeks ago. I'm in Miami once a month for like the next 4 months.
For wrestling?
Yeah.
Oh, fun. Let me know. I'll come by. I'm like 3 hours from Miami.
Okay. So
it's like a drive away.
All right. I'll hit you up. All right. So where are we at now?
So we are at checkpoint 2. I want to know what you guys are thinking here. So like the first round, it was sort of based off of when you finished your task, you then got paired off with the next person of the opposite sex who got the pass. What do you think about? So now, from now on, whoever gets first, they get the advantage of picking their partner first. So they can have anyone that's available. You get to pick them, and then you keep moving from there. Like I like that. It rewards you for your effort.
It was genius. Genius, and for people who are strategic players, it is going to be such a game changer. Mm-hmm. Those emotional players, it's going to hurt you because, for example, when you think of like my leg, right? And you can't reuse that same member again. If any of them were smart and we didn't have that, like, you know, hey, you got X situation, they would have wanted me on this leg because you don't use your leg. You know what I mean? So that would have been a win. So, and then going in, like, you know how Jonny is looking at the bikes. Again, this is one of those where I would have excelled because one, I can ride bikes, and two, I'm a single mom. I know how to put a bike together. That's what single moms do. We do this shit on our own. So it's like, you know, those type of things are going to play a big part. Like, Easy, is he a runner, an endurance runner? No, he's obviously not. He said it before, but is he willing to quit? No, he's not. He likes spicy food. That's going to play in. Like, these things, like, where you're strategic versus feelings, I think it'll be interesting. Like, I thought it was interesting how Yes and Jemmy wanted to be together on that first leg.
Right.
Like, I don't think Anissa knew that at all because she was going so hard for Yes. To know that he didn't even pick you as his first partner, you know what I mean? And then like, where does he pick you and at what point and why? And then for Darrell, he knew. He's like, I can pick Ruthie up. We're about to do a sprint.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Huge. Fucking huge.
Oh yeah, it's a game changer. Like I was like looking at this and I was talking to some of my friends offline about it. I'm like, if you were looking at the big picture and you see like even at the beginning, like Kellyanne's like sort of complaining about having to wait for Easy and all that. I'm like, hey, if at that point you're like, as long as you're not last and you can make up that ground, like this is where you want to have Easy. Like no offense to him.
Out of the way.
Yeah, it's like, you get him out of the way. It's like when you see later in the episode where Anissa's like, oh, the only two guys that have to pick me now are Yes and Darrell. Like for her, that could be really good. But like if you're Yes and Darrell, I'm looking at that like knowing what the later portions of a final are usually more that endurance factor. You're like
the running and all of that.
Yeah. So like if I'm Yes, like he didn't get a chance to pick this time because Jonny picked him. But like if Jonny didn't pick him and he had a chance, I'm picking Anissa for the bike part to just get it over with.
Yep.
Then I'm guaranteed to have Kellyanne. I'll find a way to use like Jonny for the endurance part because I think she's at least has like that personality to keep going with their partner. And you see it in the episode. She's like, even when she's like failing, quote unquote, she's like, no, I need to get back on. We need to keep going. We need the push.
And then you have Ruthie, who's strong as well. So she's a great person to leave for the end of.
Yeah, so like you said, there's so much strategy there, and I feel like some people did make some mistakes on who they picked.
Yeah, but very
I 100% agree.
Yeah, very. I think your strong players picked correctly, and I think your weaker players didn't. But I think on a whole, I thought we saw excellent gameplay from the majority.
Yeah,
really cool because like it could have just been like, oh, idiot, and it wasn't. And that happens a lot because you're like, as you said, like hard is just like, it's like, oh, well, you know, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings. Like, you know, like I have to at least run the first part with them. It's just like, motherfucker, like last part's just as good as first part. So was the fourth part. So was the 15th part. they all.
Well, I mean, you seen what happened to Alton and Anissa out the gate. Yep. You can start strong, but it's how you finish. Yep. And it's true. Like you know, it's going to be over the course of, you know, several days. So you hear that from TJ. You already know what players you see them start to gas out, you know, and you kind of get a taste of what is to come, right? You're seeing them, how they're interacting with puzzles, how they're interacting with math, how they're interacting with eating things. The next part is going to still have all that shit in it. Like, you have to know that he's not going to stop on day one.
No.
Like, day two is going to
easy.
Yeah.
I mean, you have people like at the end that are ready to like potentially pass out because of the peppers.
Right. You see them like literally have a seat, like call a medic. Like, I mean, for Darrell to call a medic, like that's a big deal. But like, and what I think the only disservice I think of episodes that you don't see is how long everything really is. Yeah, I really think they should have a clock in the corner showing like 4 hours later, we all get to the checkpoint. So
now how long the run is. I want to know how long they're actually running for.
I think
right.
we should have that as viewers, because like I think that's more amazing and compelling television as a viewer.
Yeah.
You know, to see
Right.
like I mean we did coverage of World's Toughest Race on Amazon Prime this past summer. And I mean, like it's the world's toughest race. It's the Eco Challenge. It's the most amazing race ever. And you're getting, you know, they're just like, you know, you get a constant map. You know, you're seeing what's going on, and you know, and first place is here, and last place is back here. But I mean, but you see that, and I love the fact, and I'm sure you hate it, but I love the fact that TJ doesn't give you distances. I think that's great, because you're just like, you don't know. I mean, like, you know, it could be 3 miles. It could be 15 miles. You have no idea.
He literally says, and I know that his intrigue is part of the show, but he literally said to us, once you get around this mountain, say I don't know about you guys, but down south, these are like backwoods directions. Like when you see the Burger King, you're going to make a left, right? Yeah. So he did that shit. He's like, when you come around this mountain, there's going to be another little mountain, and you're going to go past that. And it's right there. You won't miss it. Lies.com. That shit was 17 mountains later. Yeah. I was like, oh, he said this mountain. Why are we still battling?
Yeah. So see, that I love, but for the viewer, I think they really dropped the ball, and they don't do it on the other challenge. Like I want to see, like it's not like you guys are doing little shit. I mean, like if you guys are running, you know, 3/4 of a mile, I'm like, yeah, don't show that shit.
Yeah, yeah, but I feel like they were trying to do a compromise here, because for whatever reason they don't like to show the times, they don't want to show the distances, but they're like, at least in this instance, because they don't do it before, they're like, we're gonna give points. So and they actually do show it at the end of the episode, which dumb me, I'm in here watching the show, and at the same time I pulled up Excel and started like putting the points together so I could keep track of all the points just for them to show it up. I'm like, you motherfuckers, the one time I decided to put in effort. And so, but they're like, that way you can keep track of like, okay, Yes got 5 points in the second checkpoint. That means he came in first, which means he was the fastest to get this checkpoint done. And so like they at least have a point system that allows you to sort of gauge how quickly people are getting it done without saying like, oh, it took 10 hours.
I love the point system. Right. I mean, you know, we are, because I'm just like, you know, like if they're in pairs, you know, how are we going to get like, you know, like are they just
the definitive winner?
Are they just going to get to the end and just be like, I'm just like, I thought we were playing for $500,000, not splitting five. So no, I mean, there's a possibility we could split, but I think we're getting a $500,000 winner, and I don't think it's sexist the way they're doing it. And I think it's fair, and I think it's one of the best final derivative ways I've ever seen it in reality contest television.
Well, absolutely, because if you look at it, the top 4 right now, like heading into part 2 of or next week's episode, is in order from like best to I guess worst, but first to fourth, it's Yes, then Darrell, then Jonny, then Jemmy. Yep. It's 2 guys, 2 women.
Yeah, but like what is the point total? Because it's only off by like 1 or 2
they're
points.
All it's from in that order. It's 14 points, 13 points, 12 points, 11 points.
Yeah, so they're all right there. I think it's so even. I love the direction that they're going with it, and I hope they do that in future seasons because I think it's super fair, and it makes us as a viewer go, okay, this is something that everyone has a chance at from the beginning, start to finish.
I only want it for all stars because I don't want it diluted.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking, when I say like future season, I'm talking only all stars.
Only all stars. Yeah. I mean, because if they bring this to the other challenge, then you see and you're like, so no, fuck them. All stars.
All stars is its own thing.
They wouldn't be able to do the point system on the current season unless they were making it like a free agent style season where it's individual, not partners, not teams. And then when you're forced to do the teams, do that. But outside of that, they ain't gonna do that. They're just gonna be like, oh, you got here first. They're not gonna show you a time. They're not gonna show you points. They're just gonna be like, oh, well, based off stuff, You guys are first and you're in last.
Based on TJ's favorite.
Based on the way the stars are aligned today, we have a crescent moon.
Yes, crescent moons mean CT.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sorry, Big T. Big
But yeah.
3/4 moon.
But yeah, so getting back to this week's episode, so the second checkpoint, they got into their teams. They had to build a bike and then ride their bikes, or at least get those bikes to the end of the checkpoint, where there would be a second part of the checkpoint where you had to complete a math puzzle.
Yes. And we get, for the explanation of this, we get Chingy with Right There.
Oh, I hit me right there. I love that song. So that came up. I was like, oh.
That is not in my vinyl collection and never will be. Not a big Chingy guy. I appreciated it. Don't get me wrong. I want to hear a little Paperboy by Diddy. Pete, you got what, 1 or 2 episodes left. But yeah, if I could replace Right There with Paperboy,
right,
Diddy, I would have been for it.
I expected a move, Get Out the Way.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
I expected a move, Get Out of the Way in the run or the bike.
Yeah, is that Ludacris or Mr.
Yeah, it's Ludacris.
Ludacris. I was at I had a friend, Smart Bart. So The Rock, when The Rock first started wrestling, his name was Flex Cavana, and he started in USWA wrestling. And his tag team partner was my friend. Well, I'm friends with The Rock, but not that great. But anyway, I'm friends with Smart Bart Sawyer, and he was his tag team partner. And so Smart Bart Sawyer, after the whole Rock tag team thing, was living in Portland, Oregon, and he worked at a strip club, and then worked at another strip. And so finally, he was at this place called Tommy's 2, which is the worst strip club in Portland. And there's more strip clubs per capita in Portland, Oregon, than anywhere else in the world. I mean, there's that many strip clubs. And so Smart Bart was like, "Hey guys, come by and see me at the strip club." So we walk in, and there's like a guy passed out on the rack, and I mean it's a rough strip club. I mean, it's rough. So me and the guy that did the Grandma Lie with me, Thunder D, we're in the back corner, and we're not trying to interact. We're just we just want to see our friend. So we're having a couple pints. We want to see our friend. And they played Ludacris. I think it was Move Bitch, Get Out the Way. And so since it was Ludacris, me and my friend were like, we're throwing bows, like throw them bows. They were throw them bows, but it was Ludacris. So, just not Ludacris.
It was the dance of the hour.
Oh my God. This performer races across the strip club floor and comes, and she goes, "You are horribly insensitive people. You're bad people." And we're like, "Huh?" And we look, and she has half an arm. She is a stripper with half an arm. And we're like, we did not see you here. I apologize.
Oh my God.
This was in no way meant in disrespect or in acknowledgement of your existence. They're playing Ludacris. He has a song, "Throw Them Bows." And she's like, "Oh, okay." She was ready to punch us. Well, with one.
The way my vicarious embarrassment is set up, I would have died on the spot.
It was the worst. I mean, I'm a huge victim of foot and mouth disease, but oh my God, I mean, that wasn't me. I mean, so my one claim of innocence. So, but
it has happened to me. We've all done.
Yeah, Tommy's 2 in Portland, Oregon. Don't go there is the moral of the story. Tommy's 2, not a sponsor of the Reality NSFW podcast.
Okay. So So everyone's building their bikes. Some people are having some difficulties, some aren't. And then TJ just casually puts out there like, "Oh yeah, once you guys are done, you guys are gonna be tethered together, riding the bikes together." And it led to some good comedy here. Just everyone just falling all over the place. The bikes are breaking apart, and then you just have Alton and Kellyanne, who were originally in last place. They get some Highway Star by Deep Purple as they are just slowly going past every single team to get I think up to like second place.
Second place. Yep.
Second place.
The entire leg was a hot mess express for most teams.
Listen, you know what's funny is that on my road rules, we had to do something very similar. We had to do Andalusia Extreme is what it was called. And we had to come down this mountain. It was huge on a two-seater bike. On a two-seater bike, those are not mountain bikes. But
no,
we had to ride.
A tandem bike is for beach.
Right,
strolling.
leisure.
Yep.
Well, we had to ride these two-seater bikes down this mountain, and I remember me and Adam were together, and we fell and ran into the wall. We ran into the mountain. Like, we did everything that you saw on this episode, only it was just two people that we did. We did all of it. Our wheels fell off, like everything was a mess. So when I saw this was a really fun memory for me of what I have already been through on the show.
Would you have remembered to have brought the tool with you?
Yeah, I would have.
I am shocked the Godfather of all people did not remember to bring the fucking tool.
Do you know how prepared I am for the apocalypse? Like, you don't know who I am. Like, I have like my little backpack that we had our little water pack. We had the banana, the apple. I had cough drops in there. I had migraine medicine. I had a little like this like I don't know what it's called. It's like it looks like saran wrap and it's like silver and it keeps you warm. I had so much stuff in there. I had Tiger Balm in my backpack. I absolutely would have carried that with me. I'd be like, put it in the backpack.
Yeah, why not? It's a tool. There you go.
Right. So
I will say this real quick. As far as filming, I feel this is one of those moments where I think we could have got some really cool. Like, I think they relied too much on the helmet cams, and I would have liked to have seen some more crashes. And we only saw the helmet hitting the ground versus the people falling.
Yeah.
I don't think production could keep up. You know what I mean? Production can't keep up with the players when we're in the heat of the game,
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just so much. Well, you know what? I think you can't go watch World. Do you have Amazon Prime?
Mm-hmm.
Go watch World's Toughest Race. They do a really good job of catching those crashes.
Yeah.
Most of them. It's a real be prepared to cry your fucking eyes out. I mean, I cried probably 10 times watching it, and then I got to interview some of the people afterwards, and I cried on 2 podcasts after that.
Oh,
it is
I want to watch it.
So good. World's Toughest Race. So it's the Eco Challenge, and it's a race around Fiji. It's canoe, bike, running. It's the world's toughest race.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
I want to see it.
They don't where they go 5 days straight, 4 days straight. It's insanity. It is pure fucking insanity. So
I love
and they don't do checkpoints to fucking tie everybody up. They're just keep going.
Just go.
Yeah.
I want to do it. I'm zero training. I want to do it. Let's go.
You watch it. You want to do it. I'm with you. You got a partner. We need 2 more. So
okay,
Alex
so
and Lauren, I'm signing you up. Sorry.
There you go.
I'm ready for anything.
Let's be the underdogs, guys. Let's go and be the underdogs and get in there and do it.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny's scared of me, so then maybe if I'm on his team finally.
I am scared of you, Lauren.
No, that'll motivate him.
Yeah.
He's like you're on the team, so he wants to be done as quickly as possible.
There you go.
Well, I'm not that scared of her. I'm just scared of her. I don't know.
No. But anyway, let's so they get to the puzzle. The puzzle is a star-shaped puzzle where there's 2 puzzles on each part of the star. They all end up equaling 15 points. So results, Yes and Johnny come in first, followed by Darrell and Jemmy, then Mark and Anissa, Kellyanne and Alton, and then Ruthie and Easy in last. You're going to see a common trend here with Easy, and I'm very sad about that because he ends this episode with no chance of winning this game.
Yep.
So, but we did get Clint Eastwood by Gorillas.
We did.
I have that on vinyl. Should I grab it, or can I just get credit for it without showing?
We got you. You get all the credit in the world.
I'm giving you credit.
All right. So, is Big Easy mathematically eliminated from winning this?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
If he even wins these next 2 checkpoints, he doesn't get as many points as Yes has currently.
There you go.
Yeah. So I don't know what the individual part at the end will look like.
There you go. That's my point right there. That's my point as to why you have to. I feel like you needed to have that another elimination because
I agree.
if mathematically we know that there's no chance, right? You're giving more like. It's just one of those things.
Because if you're stuck with him at the end and you're someone that needs the points, he might not have the drive and the determination if he knows he's mathematically out of it.
Yep.
Right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like you just have a rare occasion here where Easy has more of a motivation than others that finish because he at this point he got to the final. Like I think he's thinking, I don't care if I win. I just want to prove to everyone and prove to myself I can actually get through an entire final without dying because the only final I got, it's always haunting me. I passed out and almost died.
Yeah.
Now listen, I want to make it clear. Like I'm rooting for Easy. I didn't even know about that math. Like I'm like, damn, I didn't even think about that. But like I'm actually rooting for him. He's an amazing partner. I've worked with him on our dailies and I've worked with him in an elimination. So I would want him to do well. Like I didn't even know that there was a math that's where we're at.
Yeah.
But did they do 5 on the first day or is it 5 total?
So each checkpoint you can get up to like 5 points.
But how many are there total?
So I think there's 5 checkpoints because there's only 5 possible combinations you can have. Then there may be one more like checkpoint that's individual because we do see in the preview for next week there does seem to be a part where they say like, "Oh, we're by ourselves now," and it's gonna be the climbing the mountaintop, get to the peak.
They never told us though how many points. Like, so say it is individual. Maybe the individual portion is more points than it was when you're with your partner. It could be 10 points, could be doubled.
It could be. It could be.
No,
I'm speculating with you guys because I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I watched this morning at 6:30 a.m. with my 13-year-old, and she's watching Big Easy. She goes, "That guy seems so motivated, Dad." I was just like, "Yeah, the last time he was there, he died."
Yes, he died and was threatened by his team that we're going to drag his dead carcass to the finish line so that we can win.
Bless Brad's heart on that season. He is the only one that even like remotely cared about Big Easy.
So anyway, my daughter Piper was just like, I like Big Easy. I was like, well, good for you. I do too.
That is, yeah.
But yeah, now it's time for everyone's favorite part, especially for Big Easy and Anissa. It's part 3, a sprint, a good old-fashioned sprint hike up the mountain.
But let's add a ghost pepper to it.
Oh no, that's round 4.
Oh Jesus Christ, we're not to round 4.
Well, that's why I'm
over 2 hours in. We're just getting to round 4.
Yeah, so here's the brief notes for round 3.
Speed through it.
There is a sprint. First place is Jess and Kellyanne. Then it's Darrell and Ruthie. When Darrell picks up Ruthie, to some Whitney Houston as he's running past some teams. I love that. I give you credit again.
Jisela, I'm gonna serenade the fuck out of you.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Then we had Jemmy and Alton Mark and John A, and then Anissa and Easy, where the big story there was more so that's where you see Easy's like, I'm motivated. I ain't quitting. Our partner ain't quitting. I'm getting to that finish line. And you just see him like constantly motivating and giving positive feedback to Anissa. Then he gets up there and just goes to TJ and casually goes, "Oh, sorry for the delay."
Yeah.
I loved that.
It's so cute.
That was good. Easy had some good spirit there. I was like, you know what? That's the energy we need.
Yep.
He's so cute. Let me tell you, I would have, like, looking back, how would I have played it? The bike, absolutely, I would have picked Yes. Everybody knows Yes loves to mountain bike.
Yeah.
If Latarian was there, I would have picked Latarian over Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the next one, the sprint, I would have taken my chances with Easy right then out the gates, because that run is, for me, that run wouldn't be the one I was going to be strong at. That's not the one I need to give my all to. There's going to be a run, and I know either it's going to be a swim or a run to the finish line. That's where I'm going to put my all at. This one, I'm gonna do the best that I can, and I would take Easy on this one just because it would keep me motivated. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally see that. But that also leads us then into round 4, which is, I have complaints with this because I read, and I'm pretty sure I took like legit notes straight from the sign. The sign says, connect to your partner with a belt, then eat the hot pepper. The hot pepper, not hot peppers. The hot pepper, one for each of you. It's on the sign. They get there and they're like, you each have to eat 2 hot peppers.
I don't know where that came in. I don't know why they had extra hot peppers. I don't know, that whenever you get to a checkpoint, so here's the behind the scenes, right? Whenever you get to a checkpoint, TJ gives you the rules or you read the paper or whatever. Usually they'll stop and they'll give you the ins and outs.
Sure.
Right? When we got to the final, when we were in the final situation, like, other than that little like boom boom speech that he gave us, there was nothing else. We didn't know if we needed to take the puzzle off. We didn't know. It's like peppers are there and you just need to put them in your mouth. TJ might not actually be standing in front of them when they're eating those peppers. He might come up a few minutes after and then say his speech, He's like in the tent with the fan, hanging out, having grapes fed to him,
Yeah. If I'm a producer and they're eating 2 peppers on their own, I'm not fucking stopping them.
Right.
Right.
Never.
No, because then you get what we're going to end up getting.
Yeah. This is what you're trying to fucking create as a fucking producer. These fucking like it's inhumane to make people eat 2 peppers, but if you're choosing to of your own volition, I'm never fucking stopping you.
Yeah, I just felt like because they were the Carolina Reapers, I was like, you already saw like Tech threw up off of 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like now you're saying, oh, and their thing was quick. There was like, you eat it, you sit for like 5 minutes, and then you did your competition. Like, you're asking these people to eat 2 and then race.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Like,
and then, I don't know if maybe both of them were there because if you threw it up, maybe you had to eat another one. Like, because I know that
Johnny likes that.
Has happened.
Oh,
that has happened.
I'm a fucking hater on the throwing. Like, on Survivor, if there's a food challenge, if you eat something and you throw it up, you have to pick it up and eat the fucking vomited material, or you're done.
You're out.
Well,
on the challenge, you can fucking fake eat shit and fucking throw it up and pretend like you ate it. I'm a hater on that all day long.
And like, that's why I feel when we see it at the end, like Kellyanne's the one trying to like drag Darrell. I was noticing though, like Kellyanne was like physically vomiting while eating the peppers. I feel like it didn't hit her as much. Like maybe she still had it in her mouth, and that's why she was coughing.
Yeah.
But like I don't. Everyone else who actually ate it and digested it, it was in their stomach. It was in the throat. It was like everywhere. So like, and that heat is heat. It has to come out somewhere. And I think that's
on an
why
empty stomach too, because up until that point, as you
Right.
said already, you've been going for hours and hours now, and you have nothing in you.
Yeah.
So
He's-
That's why water doesn't help with that type
You're
of-
about some spicy, right?
Huh?
You're about some spicy, ain't you?
I don't know. I don't really do stuff like that.
You don't do spicy? Have you ever had a Carolina Reaper?
No, I haven't. And my strategy for this portion of the game would have been to take the banana out of my backpack and cut it into little pieces and put it inside the banana and swallow it that way. That's what I would have done. There were no rules that you can't do it that way.
There's no rules.
And no, there's no rules that you
or
can
worst
do it
case
that way.
scenario, have cut it like you said, and just put it in like.
It would literally burn your skin so fast. It would burn your skin so fast. Another plan could have been when you cut it down to little pieces, dip it in the dirt, and then swallow it that way. I mean, there's ways around it.
Yeah.
And it would still hit your stomach, and once it starts to digest, you would start to feel that pain, but you could get to that point. Because I do know that they don't play around. Like if there's a chunk, you got to eat the chunk, or they'll replace it. They'll bring a new one out. Because when Tech and Yamaya did it, they made them chew it. That's what you don't see. They make them chew it. Like they're like, you have to chew it and then swallow it. Yeah. On this one, I didn't see them make them chew it. So if you could just pop the pill, wrap it in the banana. We have bananas.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Oh, man.
I like the dirt idea.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like once you think
have
about
water
it.
on you because you guys have camel packs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw water on it, dip it in the dirt.
Did that motherfucker in dirt.
Oh yeah, like definitely you would have to do it that way because if you chewed that and then tried to do the camelback, it's like when certain types of spices, when you get to a certain enough degree, water doesn't help. Water makes it worse.
Covered in dirt.
So like I'm expecting when they said like you get to the end of this and there's refreshments, I'm expecting like there's just like a big gallon of milk for each person after. Just
I want to see the milk challenge. I did that show what was it? Camp Reality where I met Piper's mom, and we had the milk challenge. You had to chug a gallon of milk. Oh, that fucking sucks.
Ugh, no.
I've seen people try to do it. Not something I would do, but
JP from Survivor did it.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, and then like minutes later, just fucking powerful yellow fucking. Oh, it was the worst.
Well, with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we end this episode though. Like, so teams are sort of scattered. Darrell and Kellyanne get into the lead. So we sort of see this dichotomy of first place team and last place team both having the same issue of Jemmy just suddenly everything hitting her and her body sort of like rejecting the Reaper. And like, so she's sort of like on the ground now. She's like, I can't even move. You have Darrell going like, I know when something's not right. My stomach's literally feeling like it's upside down. And you end with the final words, I think I need a medic.
What a fucking ending.
Ultimate cliffhanger.
Yeah, the person who never quits. You would never quit. And you're suddenly hearing him go, I feel like quitting right now.
Yeah. Makes fun of Big Easy.
Yeah. And the only thing you see from Easy is like, let's walk. Yeah.
Says it's not my challenge. You're not you. I mean, what goes around comes around.
And that's like the perfect cliffhanger.
So in spite of this horrible thing that happened about a quarter of the way into the show, maybe let's say a third of the way. This is a great fucking episode.
I watched the end.
Yeah.
I watched it to the end. I loved it.
It was just steady action. Like there was no part of it where you were like, oh man, it's taking so long. It's almost like, you could easily just do 40-minute episodes and not have to be like 90 minutes or 2 hours long and have 5 parts of a finale. You're like, just let it go. I've never seen this many checkpoints before like the night part of the final. And I was just like, every single time they were like, oh, we're going to do another one. I was like, there's still time left.
Yeah, there was no lull, no dead point. And so that's why I'm happy with the entire episode. And I hope to God the next one is just the same.
Yeah, Piper is freaking out. Watch, she was just like, "Dad, this is so good." And I would be remiss if I didn't mention during that final checkpoint, we did get Danger High Voltage from Electric Six.
Yes,
deep cut by Pete, very deep cut.
Yeah, it's the one song I didn't know.
Yes, there you go.
That says a lot. So Cyrus, if you're listening at this point, Cyrus, I did know the majority of these songs.
Oh, Cyrus is making fun of me for enjoying the soundtrack. Cyrus goes,
"Oh no,
bunch of gray hairs liking the soundtrack on this show."
Lord, no, the soundtrack is amazing though. It's like I think everybody, even people who are new, like young, they're like Googling these songs. They're like, "This is the hit." I'm like, "Oh my god, this is so old."
There's a Spotify channel just based on the soundtrack now.
Yeah, I follow.
Really?
Mark Long is tweeting it out every week, and yeah.
I mean, I retweeted. I didn't know it was on Spotify though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Spotify is updating it every week.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
so I feel a good way to wrap this up though is like, so we're heading into part 2 of the finale. Based off what we've seen so far, like, who do you think comes out with the win?
Who do I have left on my picks?
So if we want to go in that route, your highest ranking person right now is Ruthie, who has 8 points.
Ooh, okay.
And then you lost Derek.
Yep.
I lost Jisela. Your other person you have left is Big Easy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you're in a tough spot, but as am I, because my 2 top people right now are both on the ground.
Yeah. She got Darrell and Jemmy, who are 2 of the top 4, but like they're both dying right now.
They're on the ground dying right now.
Wow.
I got yes.
That's funny.
Oh, you have yes.
Yeah, so I had the 2 conflicting powers of this season here.
Yes. yes, you do.
So I think I'm gonna roll with yes, just because I have to at this point.
Son of a gun.
I mean, he played a good game. Like
if he wins, like it's a deserving win.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm rooting for a twist in which Jisela comes back with 20 points. Can I?
That'll help.
Right? I mean, it could happen. It could be like sudden death, and here comes Derek.
Yeah.
Or even Nehemiah. Because Nehemiah was at the hotel with us, and we're like, we thought you left.
The Redemption House. You don't know it. We've seen it before.
I'm for Redemption House all day long. So, who? You know what? He's not my pick. I mean, I think he would have been my pick if he was on the table at the time. I like Yes a lot. I mean, a big lot, because I consider him like, I think there's 2 people from this cast that would excel in Survivor, and that's my bread and butter. And that's you, Jisela, and Yes. But I'm gonna go Heart, and I'm going The Godfather.
Oh wow, I'd be fine with that. I also have Mark Long, so
yeah. I mean, because you got to remember, like, quitting is an option. Quitting, getting DQ'd is an option. Like, something can happen. There's still lots of parts left. Like I said, me and Darrell get to the hotel, and Nehemiah is there, and I'm gonna post a picture. People are gonna know we were all chilling at the hotel together. What does that mean for next week's episode? I don't know. Like I said, there's a reason I can't talk about the next 2 episodes.
I know. Thank you for not doing so. We appreciate it.
It makes me look forward to it more.
Lauren, who's your pick?
I would never. I love the show, the integrity of the show too much to ruin it for anyone. So I try to be all over the place. I mean, to the point that I didn't even tell people where I stood with Anissa until that episode aired. Like, I played it all the way to the end because I truly believe that the show is amazing, and I truly think that people deserve the opportunity to watch it and feel it live, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Lauren, your pick before we go?
I'm just hoping that one of my 2 rises from the current dead and can pull through for me. So I'm going with Jemmy or Darrell.
Okay.
That's fair. That's
Strong.
fair.
I'm
Strong
sticking by
players.
my team that I picked from the beginning. I still will stick by my people.
Awesome. All right, so
I'm gonna
we
go.
have-
Can I go with one? Let me
Oh,
put my
sure.
guesses in.
Yeah.
I mean, because you know,
I mean,
I'm going with Jenny on this one.
Yes.
But it's really because of her strategicness. I
Okay.
don't know what the next, evolutions, hold, but she's so calculated. And actually, what happened?
Oh, I was just gonna say, if she gets through this point and gets to that 5th checkpoint, her one fault here, her partner will be easy. So hopefully it's just like straight puzzles, and they can get that easy 5 points.
They've already done a lot of running though, so I don't think it's going to be running again.
That's true, and you did say that the points could double up.
Potentially, yeah. There's always potential there. We will have to find out next week, though.
So you think we have two more parts of the final?
No,
I think the final ends next week, and then the week after is the reunion.
So we got 2 episodes left. Yep.
All right. Jisela, I feel like there's going to be some tea spilt at the reunion. You want to join us in 2 weeks? I'll figure out who next week is. I'm going to keep my mind open. But you want to come back in 2 weeks and spill some tea?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I feel like we talked before we went on the air. There's some tea we could have spilled tonight, and
we held off.
Let's. I mean, there was requests out there. I think 2 weeks is more than enough time to allow requests to do what they're supposed to do, and then we just spill away.
Yes. Let's do it. Let's spill some tea in 2 weeks.
I love it.
Yes.
I'll get my kettle ready.
We're hurting some fucking feelings. Get ready.
Oh my god.
Awesome. Jisela, thank you so much. We will see you in 2 weeks, and then after that, we're going to figure out when the premiere of the next season. Do we have a name yet for?
No.
I am not sure. It seems like there's some weird pairing of U.S. and international stars. I'm not going to call them reality stars. I ain't going to call them actual stars. They're stars. They are people.
War of the Worlds type.
Not War of the Worlds type in the sense. I think it's going to be a U.S. person is paired with an international person.
Yeah.
So maybe a War of Worlds concept, but forcing them to unite.
Okay, so war with the worlds. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
yeah, we'll have to do a draft and everything.
It's called
too.
hiatus until All Stars 2 comes out.
It's called there was a COVID outbreak, so we get to restart it. So Big T gets to stay in.
Yeah.
Whoa! There's awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Jisela. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, me. Thank you, the viewers. Thank you, the listeners. To support the show, click the subscribe button. Click that you like it. Leave a 5-star review. If you don't like it, don't listen. Don't leave a negative thing or whatever. It's a shit move. Come on, just go somewhere else. So become a patron. Go to adfree.nsfw.com and support our sponsors. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Finally, tobacco alternatives that don't suck.
Researched and developed for 3 years to be made by people, not patients. Lucy's created a nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. Lucy also has a lozenge with 4 milligrams of nicotine in cherry ice flavor. Each and every flavor actually does taste great, and it's convenient and discreet. Products can be enjoyed anywhere, on flights, at work, on the go, even in the gym. I'm so excited that Lucy is sponsoring us because one of my best friends in the world, he's trying to quit smoking. His girlfriend's been getting on him for years. He's a big menthol smoker. And the wintergreen flavor is a really nice substitute for him that he absolutely loves. So this is the thing that you need to check out if you've been trying to kick your tobacco habits.
I have a family member that's tried the pomegranate, and they say it's one of the greatest tasting gums they've ever had. We're not talking nicotine gum. We're talking any gum. So if you've been discouraged by other nicotine gums, try the pomegranate. And also for the lozenge, the cherry ice is allegedly the best. And you know what? I believe them. But as far as enjoying anywhere, I heard at the gym, you get a little extra bump from the lozenge and from the gum.
Boom. It's 2020. Get rid of your cigarettes, unplug your vape, throw out your dip, and get some Lucy nicotine gum or lozenges. This is the real deal, and a subscription to Lucy comes directly to your door each month. It's so simple, you don't even have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down.
Reality NSFW listeners, go to lucy.co and use promo code SURVIVOR to get 20% off all products, including gum and lozenges. That's Lucy, LUCY.co. That's right, CO, and use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Also, I have to give this disclaimer. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. So that's lucy.co, and be sure to use that promo code SURVIVOR, and we thank them for sponsoring the Reality NSFW podcast. This episode of Reality NSFW is sponsored by Blue Chew. Say it with us, Blue Chew. Blue Chew is making waves and bringing more confidence to the bedroom by offering chewable tablets that can help men get stronger and longer lasting erections. That's right, we're giving away super hard dicks.
Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men achieve harder, stronger erections to combat all forms of ED.
Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor offices, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And the best part, it's all done online.
Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's sildenafil and tadalafil tablets are chewable. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy.
Hey, if you're looking to give that immunity idol to someone, or you don't want to be voted out of a crater, don't worry, Blue Chew's got you covered. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's Blue Chew, BLUECHEW.com, promo code SURVIVOR to receive your first month free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.